Here's a story that I heard. I read this story, first of all. It was printed in one of these Chabad weekly publications. This is about 20 years ago. And then I heard the story was verified by a lot of people afterwards because someone said it wasn't true, but a lot of people verified it. But I'm not going to say any names. There was a person, a very well-known person, a very well-known person. He was not Chabad. He was not connected to Chabad. And he even had several institutions, I understand, institutions for girls, whatever. And he was very popular. And he liked Chabad. He was a very nice person, very able person, kind person. And he got a and he was friends with a lot of people from Chabad, but he definitely was not connected to Chabad. He was who knows what the from the Litvischer or from the Hungarischer, whatever. Anyway, he became very ill. He became ill, and the doctors gave a very dim prognosis that he had an uncurable disease, and that he had a very short amount of time to live. And sure enough, he became weaker and weaker, more and more weak day to day, and he had to stop a lot of his activities and couldn't go to the school, couldn't go to teach. One day he happened to notice a book of the Tanya that a couple of his Chabad friends had brought to him earlier. And he opened up this book for whatever reason it was. He opened up the book and he started reading. And when he read the Tanya, he started to feel better. So he started to feel better. He thought maybe that, it was just a coincidence or something. But the more he read, the better he felt. So finally, he really felt very good, and he talked to his Chabad friends, and they suggested that maybe he should go to the Lubavitcher Rebbe, fly. This person lived somewhere in Europe. I don't want to say the details because I did say the details in the past, and in fact the details are very well known, but someone got very angry about it and he started complaining. So I don't want to go through this thing again, but it was a good story and it's a true story. So they suggested that he should go to the Rebbe. So it was an amazing thing. So we went to the doctor, and the doctor says he doesn't understand what's going on, but it's okay. It's all right. You can. So he went to the Rebbe, and he was very happy, and he was singing, and he felt like a young man again. So he went by the Rebbe, and either he wrote to the Rebbe beforehand, or he told the Rebbe when he went in, and the Rebbe said that he shouldn't tell anybody about this. He should keep it to himself. Don't tell it to anyone. I guess you can tell it to your immediate family or something, but tell them that they shouldn't tell it to anybody. And so it was. So he came back home, and either then he told it to his wife, or he had told it to his wife before and didn't warn her not to say to anybody. And everything was going fine. But then someone in his family, whoever it was, his wife, whoever, she happened to mention it to someone else. And the word got out. That's how we know the story. And the word got out. And as soon as the word got out, he started to feel not good again. And shortly thereafter, he passed away. The story is a very strange story because the story, first of all, tells him that the Tanya made him feel good. Now, the Tanya doesn't heal everybody. A lot of people learn the Tanya, right? A lot of people that learn the Tanya pass away, right? But nevertheless, in this case, learning the Tanya did help him. Not only that, the Rebbe gave him this very strange order, which usually you advertise things, like I'm doing, advertising. Why not? You're supposed to advertise. In this case, for whatever reason, the Rebbe told him not to do it, not to advertise. And in this case, advertising wasn't good. So, how do you say, keeping quiet was called for. It was called for. So, what can we learn from the story? First of all, the power of learning the Tanya, and secondly, the importance of doing what the Rebbe says. And third, there are certain things that it's okay if everybody else advertises them, but you're not supposed to advertise them. So you should be able to, you should know that not everything has to be said. As they say, the old saying goes, what's the difference between a wise person and a not wise person? A not wise person says what he knows, and a wise person knows what he says. There's a not wise person, everything he knows, he just spits out. And a wise person, he knows what he says. There's some things you're supposed to say and some things. Like it says, there's some things ashtika yafelehem. Being quiet is good for them. But as far as we are in our generation, it's a mitzvah to advertise and to speak and to say as much as possible, good as much as possible, and Torah as much as possible, and Chassidut as much as possible. Have a good day with Mashiach now, and God willing, see you all on Sunday at 8 in the morning. Shabbat Shalom.